Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk about the mind-altering substance known as magic mushrooms. In this video I'll be focusing on and analyzing how Japan, Greece, and the Aztecs have used mushrooms over the decades. For a little background information, according to a scientific journal that was published in 1992, we've discovered rock in the art in the Sahara that depicts the fungi and it's more than 9,000 years old. Knowing this, we can conclude that early humans have been experimenting with mind-altering substance for a while. Many scientists suggest that this compound could be useful for treating a wide variety of medical symptoms and conditions, including everything from mental health issues, depression, and physical pain. There are known to be 150 different types of magic mushrooms, but for the sake of this video, we're only going to be discussing a few types of mushrooms. Alright, let's first talk about the Japanese. Japan was researched to have been experimenting with mushrooms a long time ago before many presumed they were. Many ceramic mushrooms have been excavated from the Akita, which indicated that it was used by the Jomon people. These mushrooms were found in a ritual context with other materials that have important shamanic symbolisms. With this being discovered, we can clearly see that the Japanese were clearly using and taking advantage of some of the magic mushrooms' abilities. They gave many a sense of life and that there was indeed a higher power than themselves as humans whom they worshipped. The artifact Ancient Mania was discovered in 1892, but it is unclear who the original founder was. It was made sometime long ago in the ancient Chinese times. A dragon symbol is portrayed on both sides, as you can see on the screen right now. The dragons were said to resemble power and a spiritual upbringing. It has been related to magic mushrooms and other mind-altering substances such as cannabis. Next up we have Greece, where evidence of the worship of Homa Soma in Iran and India, identified by Wasson as Amenia muscaria, can be found in Greece and its neighboring lands. Ancient Greece is known to have some of the biggest rituals containing these magic mushrooms. These mushrooms were often crushed, making it into a drink that would be consumed during the ritual. The ceremonies were so secret that if you revealed details gained from them, you could get the death penalty. Famous figures like Plato, Homer, and Aristotle attended them. There have been many artifacts that have been made, scientists able to estimate when ancient Greeks started using magic mushrooms. The Mysterias are believed to have begun in the ancient Greece around the 6th century BC. One of the Greece's most ancient and famous artifacts is known as the Antikythera mechanism, which was discovered in 1901 and was constructed by Greek scientists for calendric and astronomical purposes. Upon recent studies, it's been unveiled that it was built in the 2nd century BC. The analog computer is located on the National Archaeological Museum in Athens. It shows us that they believed in astronomy and that oftentimes leads to spiritual beliefs that are patterns in the skies that have been linked to the gods. Last but not least, we have the Aztecs. The Aztecs have been one of the first cultures to discover the mixing of other compounds in magic mushrooms. They realized that they were able to get the same effects that magic mushrooms had on its own in a better, more tastier version. They would often mix cocoa with the magic mushrooms to form a tasty mush that masked the mushroom's potent taste. They used these mushrooms more for spiritual ways to see gods and visions when practicing their cultures. Magic mushrooms were called tenelacale, which would translate to flesh of the gods. Aztec, Mayan, and Toltec religions myths frequently mentions mushrooms, stating that they were given to their ancestors by the serpent god who created all life. In this part of the world, magic mushrooms were used in sacred religious and spiritual ceremonies for healing, for other purpose. Painting and sculptures from Aztec and Mayan societies clearly show that magic mushrooms were an important part of their culture, as far back as 1500 BCE. For example, the fire clay Michelangelo statue was discovered by archaeologists in 1994, while exploring the sacred crescent of Tenochtitlan. The figure represents the Aztec god Mictlantecuhtli, who is the god of death and the ruler of the underworld. It is important because it just shows how rituals and religions were very serious to these cultures, as you can see from one artifact. What's interesting, and archaeologists have discovered numerous sites around the artifact as depictions of mushrooms positioned as some form of sacrament. As we can see, mind-altering substances have been used and experimented with for as long as we can date back. It's fascinating that all cultures saw the effects and positives that magic mushrooms could produce. Even in today's world, magic mushrooms aren't highly researched and are just starting to be looked into more and more as the years go on. There's even word that magic mushrooms could turn into a medical medicine like cannabis and sometimes used in today's world. Thank you so much for watching.